Hiya, so as you know, I live in London, and London was a special place to be this summer. And so I have to talk about the Olympics. Now, the Olympics 2012 started in London at the end of July, and then there was like a two-week break, and then the Paralympics started, and they finished just about a week ago. Now, I'm not much of a sports fan, especially like watching sports. I just find it pretty boring. I can't sit there and just watch people playing sports on TV. I just can't do it. But nonetheless, I was very excited about the Olympics and the event as a whole. Nobody really knew exactly what to expect from the Olympics being in London. Some people had said that think it's going to get really busy. London's going to get really busy. People are going to be, in the West End in central London, just shopping and going to the theatre and stuff all the time. And some people had the opposite opinion, saying that because of the Olympics, the city was going to be very quiet and most people would just be going to the Olympic Stadium to watch a show at the games instead of, actually being in the city doing other touristy stuff. It turns out the second people were right. London was very, very quiet, especially during the Olympics. It got a bit busier during the Paralympics, but during the Olympics, it just felt very empty. A lot emptier than what I'm used to anyway. I mean, I can't comment about the actual Olympic Stadium because obviously that would have been very busy and crazy with people because that's where people went. But central London was pretty quiet. Anyway, I didn't go to any of the events. I had no desire to go to, if I'm honest, and the tickets were quite expensive as well. So even if I did want to go, it would have been pretty difficult to actually get tickets for the games. A lot of people I know did go to at least one game or something, just because they wanted to make the most of the Olympics being in London. And people kept telling me that I should go as well because, the Olympics are in London and you live in London, so why aren't you going to the games? But the truth is that I just, like I said before, I'm not really interested in watching sports. And yes, the Olympics are in London, were in London, and, I felt special and excited about that, but I wasn't going to go to an event just because I felt like I had to, just because the Olympics happened to be in London. I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to pretend that I care too much about sports and stuff when I don't. So I didn't go, and there were a couple of opportunities where I could have bought £50 tickets, and £50 isn't too much considering the price of most other tickets for the shows, for the games. But I still decided not to go because I just thought I could spend that money on things that I know would make me happier and I would enjoy more. And some people might think that's crazy of me, but I think I did the right thing, to be honest. I do things that make me happy, and I just know that going to see a sporting event, even though, it was Olympics, wouldn't have been as enjoyable. I mean, maybe it would have been for some people. It would have been an experience of a lifetime or something, a unique experience. I'm sure it was a unique experience, but again, I just wasn't very interested. Having said that, I did watch some of the games on TV, not all of them, just bits of some of them, and obviously I watched the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony for both the Olympics and the Paralympics, and that was amazing. But I think the main thing about the Olympics is just watching people compete and do things, and seeing them achieve their goals, basically. And I think that's a very special thing, and that's really nice to watch, and I think that was the thing that I enjoyed most when I was watching the games. Team GB did very, very well, and every time we won medals and stuff, I just felt so happy, so proud, and it was just so nice to see the athletes just feeling so happy, and it was like they were just achieving their goals. It's like, it kind of made me jealous in a way, because I don't, it would be nice if I had a goal, just one specific goal, which I could just work towards and just reach it, and you could just see the joy in their faces when they won those medals, and it was just very special watching them achieve what they've always wanted to achieve. And yeah, I think for me that was the best part about the Olympics, and not the actual sports, but the people, and not just the people, the athletes, but also the people in general, and how supportive they were of their countries, and just feeling very united and feeling so proud, and feeling like everyone's in it for the same thing, really. It was a very special feeling. Something that really surprised me, though, was about a week ago, I was on Twitter, and somebody tweeted something about the blind football, which was on in the Paralympics. And I read that tweet, and I was like, what? I couldn't believe what I'd read, and I wasn't even sure if I'd read it right or if it was a joke or something. That's just me being very arrogant, I know, I'm really sorry. But I didn't know that a blind football team even existed, let alone a blind football team that competes in the Olympics. And so after reading that tweet, I googled it. I went on Google and I searched blind football, and I literally researched it for about an hour and a half, just reading about it, watching interviews, watching clips of people playing, and I just felt so humbled, so amazed. And I don't want it to sound patronising, but it was so inspiring seeing people, blind people, do things that I, as a completely able person, can't do, and yet they do it, and they don't just do it, but they actually take it to, competitive level and do it, and actually compete on a big scale, and I could not believe it, and I felt really inspired, and I'm so glad I read that tweet, and I'm so glad that I watched bits of it, because then I went and actually watched bits of the blind football on TV as well, because it was on that day. And again, it just made me feel just happy and in a way quite ashamed of myself, because it made me feel like I need to be doing more with my life. Because if blind people are doing so much, then why shouldn't I be doing things? So yeah, overall my Olympics experience was very, very good. Obviously I didn't actually go to the Olympic Games, like I said, I didn't watch every single game, but I still experienced it in my own way, and the way I did experience it was good, and I'm happy that I was here in London to just see it and see what was going on around me. And yeah, my birthday this year was actually during the Olympics. It was 2 days after it started, which was very special in a way. And I also graduated from university about a week before the Olympics started, literally a week before the Olympics started actually, which was really cool. It's been a very great, memorable summer, and one that made me feel very, very lucky to be living in such an amazing city. And I'm going to leave you with this mug, which I bought earlier today. It's Brave, the Disney Pixar film that recently came out, and I absolutely love it, and it's my new favourite thing. I love the film as well, it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should go and see it. It's one of my favourite Disney films, I think. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!